When it comes to Regular Show, I am a huge fan of the original series, especially for how chaotic things would become after such simple beginnings to episodes. I even enjoyed the shockingly weird way the series originally ended back nearly 20 years ago at the start of 2017. Made a whole video diving into that years ago. But cut to 2026 and several Cartoon Network shows have come back and are having continuations, Gumball, Adventure Time, and yes, now even Regular Show, with this new revival series being titled Regular Show The Lost Tapes. Now, despite where things ended, this show would bring us right back into the daily lives of Mordecai and Rigby as they work at the park and tend to the various tasks and chores needed to be done. But in Regular Show fashion, nothing is as regular as it seems and everything goes haywire. With the return of most of the original people who worked on the original series, has this new series captured what made the original work so well? Or does it feel like Cartoon Network is just trying to cash in on nostalgia more than YouTubers do? Wait, did I just call myself out? Today, I wanted to take a look at what there is to offer with the first season of Regular Show The Lost Tapes, and see if Cartoon Network going back to some of their biggest shows from the 2010s, like Regular Show, has real merit behind it, with there actually being more stories to tell, or if it feels like we've been there and done that before, and they don't want to just invest in new ideas. I genuinely love nearly everything Regular Show had to offer. I loved the characters, I loved the ridiculous situations they would all get in, I loved the references to the 80s and 90s that are a part of the show's DNA. Everything about it really called out to me, it drew me in, and I quickly got attached to how the chaos every episode builds up from more simple beginning setups. Logic can be thrown out the window, and whatever is happening on the screen, you just have to kind of accept. It's some of the most fun that can be found in a cartoon in modern day, and it can honestly just get pretty bizarre.
Say that again?
Oh, sorry, you caught me practicing my JoJo poses, and yes, it is because finally, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Spirit, the first globally released mobile JoJo RPG, is live worldwide right now on iOS and Android, featuring fully cinematic stand battles from iconic moments straight from parts 1 through 6 of the series, complete with the signature JoJo poses that would break your back to recreate.
Please help me, I've been here for 4 days.
Here you can put together your perfect dream team of legendary characters, customize their skill upgrades, have equipment upgrades, and jump right into the action with strategic battles that let you live out the JoJo fantasies you've always wanted. I've always wanted to be friends with Bruno Bucciarati, and now I'm living the dream! Hi. You'll also find lots more to explore with deep team building strategies and even cool social aspects like guild systems, cooperative challenges, and more, letting you not only experience all the JoJo goodness for yourself, but with your friends as well, so you can feel like any of the groups that assemble in each part of JoJo. Right now, to celebrate this global launch, there are bonus events and exclusive rewards to earn, and you'd be a worse shot than Whole Horse if you missed it. You know, because Jotaro was right there and Whole Horse couldn't get him. Experience a special character story event following Jotaro Kujo's journey throughout the story of Part 3 Stardust Crusaders, and enjoy taking part in the SSR Jotaro Kujo special summoning event. So make sure to log in during this launch event, complete the limited time activities, and claim these exclusive rewards. If you're a stan for the stand users of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure like me, then join the adventure right now. Download JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Spirit on iOS or Android by clicking the link in my description. Build your ultimate team, enjoy diverse game modes, and unlock all the exclusive launch rewards. Thank you so much to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Spirit for sponsoring this video. Pew, pew. That's me. I'm shooting the arrows so you could get stand abilities. Pew. But now, in taking off my nostalgia goggles from when the original series of Regular Show was originally coming out and I became a fan of it, let's go into Regular Show The Lost Tapes with no expectations to see if it stands on its own as something great or not, aside from just comparing it to the original series to see how well it all fits together. Or not. I think that's pretty fair. Within the span of 11 days from May 11th to May 22nd of this year, 10 episodes were released, and right off the bat, and spoiler alert for the ending of regular show, this new series continues on right after the final moments of the series, with Pops enjoying his afterlife life as he goes to then enjoy his favorite activity, which is going back and watching episodes of regular show on VHS as memories, which I just love how the series played into this in the end. But then something happens, and by something, I mean the VHS he's watching gets destroyed. So Pops desperately wants to figure out how he can get his memory tape fixed up, contextualized by the threat of getting his tape digitized as a streamable way to get his memories, with Pops not trusting this process and wanting to hold on to his physical media. Same. So now he's focused on figuring out how to get his tape fixed up, but with no direct options to get it fixed, and his fear of forgetting his friends because of it, he ends up finding a box filled with, yep, you guessed it, lost tapes that he's never seen before. The whole first 11-minute episode is all just a setup to logically explain how we are heading back to these characters in these specific times of their lives, all before the ending of the series. The second episode, which is tied into the first, only starts once Pops puts in the first of the lost tapes, and honestly, I think this was brilliant.
Next, regular show.
So from episode 2 and on, we are right back to following the misadventures of Mordecai and Rigby and how they get in trouble at work, slack off from their responsibilities, and end up in the craziest situations possible. We still have plenty of time with the other main characters in the series. Benson is still dealing with being their boss and how he struggles with his anger over their actions. Things usually just result in his misfortune by the end of it all. Skips is still Skips. He's a morally good character who just kind of side-eyes all the BS going on. He's very relatable in that aspect. And aside from the intro episode, Pops is still here and used for some good bits throughout these episodes. He's still his overjoyous self, can't really be mad when he's on screen, he's just too jolly, it's infectious. But at least it's cool that it feels like we're watching everything happen through him experiencing it all for the first time through watching these tapes. Muscle Man and High Five Ghost get some time to shine here, in the same ways that they would in the original series. Muscle Man could be a huge help to the shenanigans going on, or just be messing with Mordecai and Rigby. High Five Ghost, well, you know, he's just kind of around and I appreciate him being around. And apparently he'll have a special episode more focused on him coming in the future, so I'm excited for that. There are these more character-driven moments for all of the side characters that I do appreciate the series going into, so I'm excited to see more of High Five Ghost in the future. The same type of escalation from the day being like any other to a ridiculous mess that you can't believe how wild it ended up getting is still here. Like right away, for example, it's an ordinary day. Mordecai and Rigby are getting in trouble with Benson. They have to deal with taking care of the trash and can't use wheels to help them move it all. So after they don't win a hoverboard from pudding lids being collected, they decide to build their own. This turns into them getting help from Muscle Man and High Five Ghost to make it a real hovercraft that properly functions, but because it leaves what looks like a crop circle pattern after takeoff, and that they have to wear these special alien-looking suits, the FBI gets involved, they get chased by a fighter jet and shot down, as they're believed to be aliens, and somehow this all ends up just ruining Benson's date. Also, how did this jet take off like that in the end? Maybe he was the alien all along. If you know the regular show formula and enjoy how it works, it's the same thing here. The episodes operate in the same fashion as the original series. They came back to the series with that winning formula and didn't want to change it. They knew what worked and didn't want to try and make it something it wasn't. While the final season of the original show can divide some fans because it changes up the formula and creates a narrative that spans the whole space venturing season, the core of what made the show special was still in there. But to make the focus on where it originally worked best was the best idea they could have. Continue from the end and then slot us right back into what feels familiar while still giving us new situations from our cast of characters that fit alongside all of the other episodes as if they would have naturally been there all along. For this series coming back in the first place, J.G. Quintel is back leading the series here, going into this after getting a call that asked if he was interested in bringing regular show back, and not long after that, after figuring out how to make it all make sense, everyone was basically coming back aboard to work on it. Lots of people who worked on the original series are here once again working on the series, doing the stories or the animation, leading to why it feels so in line with the original. But not only that, the main voice cast is back as well for all of the main roles. If they hid one of these episodes in a DVD release of a random season from the original series, you'd never know. You'd just think, oh, I guess I missed this one somehow, which is exactly what Quintel and the team were going for in their thought process of it all. Vanessa Brookman, the GM of Kids Global Streaming and International Networks at Warner Bros. Discovery, said, "Its return underscores our commitment to premium animation with global appeal. With regular show The Lost Tapes, J.G. Quintel and the team honor the original's legacy while introducing something fresh. We are excited to bring Mordecai, Rigby, and the gang back to audiences worldwide while welcoming a new generation of fans." Why is the series back? Because WB is currently more focused on what they can guarantee will be a hit, something that's been previously established, rather than keep investing in new things that could easily fail in their eyes. It's a corporate decision, but at least in having all of the original people back on board and being able to deliver more of what originally worked, this turns into the best outcome possible from a situation that could easily just feel stale or forced. If WB is going to do this with Cartoon Network properties anyway, it's better to have the original people involved and to let them do what they do best. Quintel stated that, "It's been so much fun working with everyone on more regular show. We're just making stuff for ourselves and trying to crack each other up. I can't wait for everyone to see it." And from what we've seen so far, yeah, it feels like everyone involved is having a fun time. They made sure that when going back to the series and telling these specific new stories, that they have the freedom to jump around from any point in the original show's run and easily place them there. If they have a story that fits well with what happened in the first season, they can slot it there, or if something fits better at a later on season, then they can easily jump to that and place it there, all while not ignoring any ongoing continuity or stuff that has happened or has yet to have happened. This freedom really takes the pressure off of trying to make things fit, because as long as some surrounding details don't ruin the original show's continuity and follows along with it, then creating a new situation doesn't feel out of place, and if these episodes did exist back then, they'd feel like they would have naturally always been there. For the episodes that are out now, there was a lot of fun to be had and plenty of new memorable moments to take away. The Dream episode was a nice highlight for me. It's visually really fun and it made me want to go watch Inception again. Plus there's this sweet moment from this episode between Muscle Man and Mordecai and Rigby that I thought was done in a genuinely heartfelt way. Margaret and Eileen are back as well. They get some time to have their own adventure in the same ways that Mordecai and Rigby would, and I love how their episode becomes this giant battle of food gods, and it all just had this really fun vibe to it. But there was one episode that really spoke to me on a deeper level, and that's the boba episode. It's way too relatable for me because about a year ago, I fell into a boba hole after trying one for the first time during New York Comic-Con, thanks to the voice actor of Yuji Itadori and Marco Diaz, Adam MacArthur, getting me hooked on them. From there, I just constantly craved them. Luckily, since then, I only have one every now and then, but just like how Pops feels in this episode once he drinks a boba for the first time, that's how it did feel for me. I mean, I also felt like Pops after his come down from the boba after I had too many. I don't really know why I'm telling any of you this information. Getting to relate to the episodes and have some laughs because of what's going on is one thing. That's all great. But there are these perfect little pockets of emotional moments that really nail the tone they're going for. Aside from the Muscle Man moment that I mentioned, there are some daddy issues that Rigby deals with that just hit you so heavily, and you completely understand what Rigby is going through as it explored this vulnerable moment for him. There's plenty of variety in the episodes of what the Lost Tapes focus on, and I appreciate all the little bonus moments thrown in there to show me, as a viewer, as a fan of the original, that the heart behind it all is still there.
Next, regular show.
The writing is just as sharp as it was in the original series, and if anything, it feels more adult with the jokes, references, and innuendos. All of these stories don't rely on what's going on in the 2020s for jokes, much like how some cartoons that come back after a decade or two rely on stuff like the characters reacting to smartphones as a wacky trait. Sure, there are some references or nods to newer things, of course, that's unavoidable, but not in bad ways where the focus is on something for the sake of that thing being mentioned or involved. It's just naturally incorporated. If anything, it's always technically outdated stuff that gets referenced, shown off, or a part of the plots. Maybe that's why I love regular show in general so much. It has this love for retro things that is so pure and authentic, and it isn't lost here in the Lost Tapes. So in the end, it really is just more of the same, and that's not a bad thing. If you enjoyed the original series, the Lost Tapes so far slots right into that series nicely. It lives up to the name by feeling like missing episodes that we could have easily got back then before the final season happened, and I truly love the concept of these stories being tapes based on the original series' ending. So let's answer the big question then. Did regular show really need to come back? I mean, the clear answer is no. No, it didn't. But is it a bad thing that it did? No, not at all. This new series doesn't ruin what came before. I can easily see an argument that it just feels like we're exploring more stories with these characters that aren't necessary, all for the sake of nostalgia. And yeah, for the most part, this is all unnecessary. But that doesn't make it bad, or just purely a cash grab that banks on nostalgia. Maybe for WB it is, but for Quintel and everyone else working on the show, there's a clear, genuine love here. I don't inherently feel like having all these major players who created the original series or voiced in it coming back as them specifically just cashing in. There is a clear care for these characters in this specific world that can still be felt. Sure, Cartoon Network should be more invested in new cartoons, new original stories, and ideas. I don't think it should just be reruns of Teen Titans Go all day or more reboot/sequel series of established IP. We need more new. But if we are going to head back to familiar territory, at least I feel it was done well enough for fans of the original regular show series to enjoy, and feel that despite a large gap in time between both of them, that it feels like it doesn't skip, or should I say skips, a beat. If you loved the original regular show series, I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy what The Lost Tapes has to offer. Honestly, I wasn't the most worried when going into this because of having as much of the original talent come back as they did. I felt that it was in good hands, and it's clear that it is. But if you take away the original series, is The Lost Tapes good on its own? If nothing came before this and ignoring the context given in episode 1, yeah, I think the show is still really solid. While it may not feature some of the best episodes of all time when compared to the original series, there is enough here that is really good to hold its own. It just gets to benefit further by being a sequel series, or is it like a continuation series, or like a weird combination, because these episodes all take place before the end of the original series and throughout all of the original series. I don't know, whatever it is, if The Lost Tapes can continue to operate on a level that's just as good as the original series with great writing, fun adventures, and the same spirit as the original, then I think The Lost Tapes is well worth the watch, and I can't wait to see what comes next. At this moment, more episodes are looking to come out in September of this year, and I look forward to seeing what else The Lost Tapes offers. Like, apparently there will be a Halloween special episode, and I'm really looking forward to that one. But until then, please feel free to let me know your thoughts on regular show The Lost Tapes. Are you happy with what it offers you if you're a fan of the original series? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Anyway, I have to go return this tape to Blockbuster. It's only 25 years late. But while I go handle that, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and until our eyes gaze upon each other again, later.